Hi guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are cool. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. I'm not going to be long today. Someone says, why do I touch my nose every 1 minute? I don't know. I'm not going to be long today, but I'm going to tell you that today, Lady Nantoma, how are you doing? Peter Ebojile. I want us to talk about. I'm sorry I came very late. I'm so sorry. I didn't sleep. I tried to rest and I couldn't for one reason or the other. So don't be angry, guys. I'll try to come by midnight as usual. Okay, so today I want to talk about the best jobs to do, the most lucrative jobs to do when you japa, because Nigerians know they hear word, whether you like it or not, they still want japa. So I want to know the best work for everybody we want japa, because as they hear, they see these people, all of them want japa. So what is the best job, the best paying job? What job gives you more time for your family? What job would ensure that your wife will not cheat on you or you will not cheat on your wife? All these things should be given consideration. So some people are saying nursing, some people are saying trucking, some people are saying all sorts of stuff. Hi, TikTok, share the video on TikTok. Come to Facebook and buy stars. It is that easy. Just come to Facebook and buy stars. When you get to Facebook, all you need to do is search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Let me show it to you. You will see my profile. It looks like this. You can see 813,000 followers. It's got this picture. It's verified. Scroll down to today's video right there. Click on today's video. Bottom left hand corner, you will see how to get stars. So all of us, all of you guys, come over and get stars right now. All right, come over and get. Someone says nursing is rewarding but stressful. Some people are saying consider opening a church. Vidoma, I don't think church is going to work abroad, though. I don't think church is going to work. Even in Nigeria, church they work again. Someone says, Daddy Freeze, now woman they barb my hair, now woman they do my oil change. Abroad people, no be like Niger people. Say Niger people, they're too like work. Woman won't do nails. How many abroad people fit do nails? That nails be say maybe you get a party or say every day go they do nails, they do hand like this. For mechanic work where you want go do, a big truck where you want go drive. About forget nails. Oh. So let us start. If you're abroad and you're working and you have experience, please join us. If you want to jackpot, maybe today be your session. We'll go get another session specially for you. Okay? Someone says nursing is pretty static. You earn decently, but the pay never grows. Everybody don't they get their own idea. Video, how are you? I can't see your face, so what's wrong with you? On lights now.
Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning, my darling people. First time in my life. Oh, thank you so much. Joshua, okay, let me invite you to. So tell me, what do you think, guys?
I think making of hair is okay.
Making of hair.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
No, because I want to go into it because I had a friend that lived in America. So she had to start with here before she left Nigeria. So when she got to that place, someone took her like his friend.
Where are you?
I'm in a cage here.
You are in Ikeja and we are talking to Japa people. And you are putting mouth. Anyway, tell me your story. Tell me your story.
No, it's not that I'm going there, but I just want to contribute on two things.
Okay.
I like that. Making of her is okay because she told me there's so much money.
Making of hair.
Yeah, so she even asked me to go learn. Although hair is not my thing, but I think I have to go.
You have to go and learn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fixing of weave on. Even though I don't braid, like fixing of weave on is okay. Because braiding is very difficult to learn. It takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But weave on is very, very simple. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's bring the experts. The other guy in the corner in darkness wants abroad people.
How you doing?
I'm good. Oh. Once abroad people reach out, you go know. The guy where they below to know they abroad.
I please.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I'm in the States. I just felt I should quickly chip in a few things. I think the first thing is interest, is the person's interest. And everything I'm saying is mostly for the United States. I don't have experience about Canada or the UK.
Sorry, hold on a second. The guy that is beside you. Hello, sir.
How you doing? Daddy Trees, how are you?
What part of the world are you in?
Oh, I'm here in the States, Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. Okay, awesome. So, go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So everything I'll be saying is for the United States, right? The first thing, which is probably one of the few that is pretty easy for, especially someone that has worked in corporate sector before. Of course, it's technology, right? But technology has different areas, right? There's some roles that are very project management related. That if you you like to manage projects and all of that, it's pretty much easy to get into. I'll say Scrum Master.
Vidoma, where are you?
For example, you probably just need to prepare for an exam for a few weeks. You pass it.
Where you
get someone to train you for maybe another 4 to 6
no
weeks.
Light.
And a lot of times you could get jobs that pay over $100,000, right? I hear people say, and so that's a part of tech, right? You can be a product manager as well. You have a lot of people that train people in that as well. Cybersecurity, of course, there's a lot of IT risk, everywhere, right? So cybersecurity, I know
where
someone
is
that
this?
transitioned actually from nursing, to cybersecurity about a year ago, and now she's got 2 jobs making
Vidoma, where is this?
$100,000, right? So
your office
depends on the areas. Of course, software development will always be lucrative. Then I hear people talk about nursing. Nursing is, of course, great. Yeah. The only, and you always have a job. During COVID, travel nursing was big, and it's still pretty big for a lot of people. There were people that made $10,000 a week during COVID, at the peak of COVID. But the thing about bedside nursing is the fact that yes, you can easily pay you $80,000-$90,000 once you pass your board exams. However, my own challenge is the growth in nursing can be limited, right? If you're a bedside nurse for 5, 10, 15 years, maybe there'll only be marginal increments in your pay, right? So those are different options. Of course, for those that have not worked in corporate work before, trucking, of course, I've heard people talk about trucking. If you like to drive, and you're fine driving long hours, 10, 15, 20 hours, you always make a lot. I mean, a lot from trucking. But you also need someone to be able to buy your truck, like either by yourself or someone supporting you. Then the lady mentioned ear making. Of course, if it's someone that probably didn't go to school and doesn't want to do a 9 to 5, ear making, a lot of times, these people make, like a lady, recently a lady barbs my hair as well. and in an hour she probably barbs 2 people. That's $40. That's $40 per person. That's like $80 an hour from barbing people, right? So the options is, of course, like I said earlier, it's based on your interest. What do you have interest in? What will you enjoy doing? And how much work are you willing to put in? I don't want to off the mic, so I want to like pause.
Where are you, Vidoma? Where are you? All right, I can hear you. Go ahead, my brother.
We can't hear you though. I think the other guy is speaking.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, let's hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay. Daddy Freeze, I want to first of all appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
But I come on your life and I am blessed somehow. I agree with you. Sometimes I don't agree with you, but I still love you. Make I talk for pidgin English. Make everybody understand me. All jobs, what we call all jobs back home in Nigeria. Here in America, it pays well. You know, it's yours. When you come from Nigeria, there are things you learn, like mechanic work, how to braid hair, how to do handwork. Pays a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when you come here, even do you know that vulcanizing job gives money, but people don't know. Vulcanizer, they make money here in the US.
How much do vulcanizers make?
Like people where they fix tires.
I know.
Yeah, they make money here now. My friend there Atlanta, they make money. And this guy is a graduate, but he's making money. He has peace. He has time to spend with his daughter.
Yes, but I'm saying how much they make money. How much?
How much he makes it? He brings it a week.
Yes.
He brings in. I think he writes it after. I think he brings in almost close to 2,000 every week.
$2,000 a week for a vulcanizer.
They change tires, and they fix rims and all those things. He does it.
Wow.
So, like me, I've been in UPS. I drive a truck. I've been a truck driver for 16 years with the company, so I don't get experience. So sometimes if I'm advising someone where they come here, the first thing I go tell that person, make it go learn handwork. Forget degree when we get. Me, I get degree. So you understand? Go learn how they get money. And once you enter here, you go make money. So you understand? If you want, before you go say you want to go nursing school. So you understand? My wife is a nurse, but I make more than her. My wife now nursing where she be.
So you are a truck driver that makes more than your wife that is a nurse.
Yeah, she's a nurse. So what did she bring for her standing up for 12 hours, 4 days or 5 days a week? Now which are the end for 1 week?
How much do you make in 1 week? Sorry, how much do you make in 1 week?
Me, I get every year I bring in like almost 130 after tax. After Uncle Sam got taken over 130,000 a year.
Wow. What about your wife? How much does she bring in?
I get paid almost close to $45 an hour.
What about your wife? How much does she bring in a year?
She's bringing almost close to about let's say between 80-85 if they file income tax.
Okay.
But traveling nurse, they earn more with them. With her degree, she's BS and Bachelor's in Science and Nursing. I see they make money pass.
How many hours do you drive?
I tell her, essentially, go read masters in nursing, become a doctor. Now I go say you go learn passing.
Now, I wanted to ask, how long do you drive for?
Okay, on this shift, I work Monday to Friday. My hours is between 8.5, 9 hours a day. Mondays I work 10 hours. Then I'm free on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is optional as a senior driver. I can come if I want. If I don't want to sit at home to watch CNN, I just go put in like 6 hours, 5-6 hours, and come and spend time with my kids.
So for Monday you put in 10 hours. When do you get to work on Monday?
Say what?
What time do you get to work on Monday?
8 o'clock. I go to work 8 in the morning.
So that
I
is
get off like
9, 10,
7:30.
11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you go at 8 and you leave at 6.
7:30.
7:30.
ETA time. Yeah, 7:30.
Wow, that's a whole day.
That's the whole day. Yeah. I do pickups. I have this is my route. I have a whole route, industrial route I cover. So I do delivery. I do pickups.
Okay, what about on Tuesday, for instance?
Say that again.
On Tuesday. What about on Tuesday?
On Tuesdays I go in at 9. Then I get off the same time 7:30.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that means you work very hard all week.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mm.
So on weekends I rest. I work Monday to Friday. Like I said, Saturday is optional. I choose to go. I choose not to go. As a senior driver.
Now, as a senior driver, do you make more money on Saturday?
Say what?
Can you guys mute your mics so he can hear me? Everybody mute their mic.
Yeah, I think it's buzz. I can't hear.
Mute your mics. Yes. On Saturday, when you go to work, do you get paid overtime? Is it considered overtime?
Saturday is OT. Then anything after 8 hours, like let's say UPS gives me 8-hour job. The computer says I'm giving you an 8 hours job. Anything after 8.1, that one is over OT for me. They pay me for that. Wow. Where I make money is my overtime money. That's where I get money. I have my regular 40 hours a week, guaranteed. Anything after that thing is over OT.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you so much, and God bless you, Joshua Ude. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, we've got a lady, my darlings. Okay, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just quickly want to say something on some of the things he mentioned. So the thing is, I'm not a big fan of telling people that, oh, don't go to school, don't do this because handiwork pays. You make quick cash. Yes, you're going to make quick cash in the interim, but if you're looking at long term, who never goes wrong in the United States, right? And that's why I'm going to give an instance. Like the last set of people that came to the United States from visa lottery, right? A lot of them, if you look at that, their generation, most of them, because they got here, they started making $15, $20 an hour. They didn't go to school. A lot of them, 6, 7 years, 8 years after that, they're probably still making $20, $25 an hour, right? Yes, you can. If someone wants to go to school, it's totally fine to go to school. I'll just say be careful of the kind of course you're going to do to be sure that it's something that will pay you well. The fact that he thinks he makes more than his wife that was a nurse doesn't mean like everybody should not go to school to do a white collar job. Of course, blue collar jobs, they'll make maybe a little over 100,000. If you do 10 to 12 hours daily, they're going to make a little over 100,000 annually, but the question is, for how long do you want to do it? Compared to someone that would go to school probably for a year or two, and much like this, their pay would continue to increase over the years, and at some point they'll be making 400, 500, 600K.
But the guy said nursing. Most people are saying the same thing, that nursing is stagnant. You cannot rise to that. There is a limit beyond which you cannot rise in nursing.
Yes, so I get that, and I'm also there's a part of that. However, for example, if you go and do your master's and you become a nurse practitioner, at least you'll be making like 160, 170K. Because as a nurse practitioner, you're literally consulting under the supervision of a physician. There's some states that allow you to consult by yourself. So even though bedside nursing might be a little might be stagnant, the max you probably make as a bedside nurse, even after 20, 25 years, is maybe 130, 140,000 if you're not a nurse practitioner. But it's still not a reason to say, oh, don't go and do nursing, be driving trucks, and all of that. And like I said, there are other, they look like tech these days, tech pays a lot of really well. A lot of people, especially Nigerians, combine 2-3 jobs. You have folks that do 3 jobs, making 120, 130 on each. So it's just about your preference, the work you're willing to put in. Are you also willing to endure for a while before you reap the benefits? Like I came to the States through business school. I did an MBA for 2 years, and looking back, I'm like, I should have done this shit like a few years ago. So I just thought I should say that.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much for that. All right, we've got this young lady, this lovely lady with me. Hi, Sugar Destiny. How are you doing? Thank you, Sheon.
Obviously, I'm calling from Canada, and I'm only going to share about
your
Canada.
Background is very noisy. I was looking for who had that noisy background. I did not know it was you. I don't remove everybody finish. Can't realize say now you.
So, based on what the truck guy said, if you ask me my opinion, he's 100% right. But at the same time, the other uncle, I'm not going to advise people not to go to school. I'm a mother of 3, and I hope my kids go to school tomorrow. Meaning, if those handwork are more beneficiary or something, I would have pushed them towards that angle. But I feel being educated and having a
do you feel, or can you substantiate this?
Okay. All right. Come on.
That phrase.
All right, finish off so I can remove you because of your noisy background.
Like I had experience, truckers make good money. Mostly if you travel around, for example, truckers from Canada that goes to US, UKs, most of my neighbors are truckers. So
UK care from US. They know if you drive truck.
No, they are. They operate too.
From UK to US.
From Canada to US, yes.
You said UK.
With 2 drivers, yes, there are 2 drivers. In fact, my neighbor, she and her husband, they are truckers. This is what they do for a living. Full-time jobs. She is a trucker, her husband is a trucker. So what they do, they interchange. When you get drive for a while and she feels tired, the husband is changed. And inside the truck, they have everything, like they have a mini fridge, freezer, they have a cooking area in the same truck, loaded with a lot of goods. So they move from country to another country. So they make good money as well as traveling nurses. Traveling nurses were making like massive money during COVID for over 3 years now. They were making good money. If you don't have a child, like maybe your kids are grown up, or you have a nanny, or your mom is with your kids, or probably your husband, I don't know, you guys rotate. Do you understand? So as a traveler nurse, you're gonna make the same money as the trucker who lives a different country to another country. But if it's a trucker, maybe who delivers things within the city, obviously you're not gonna make good money because I knew somebody, an insider who is a trucker for over 18 years now in Canada. So I'm speaking with experience. When he files towels, a lot of people is like, why are you filing your towels with? And he has a side job as his own personal job as well. So he used his personal job income and all the expenses to bring his income down when he's filed tax. Because sometimes he paid back to government 18,000 Canadians, sometimes 15,000 Canadians. That's what he pays back to government. But since he met this good guy who is from Europe, I'm not going to disclose his name, who does his tax, and this guy takes 1,500 just for his own tax. So sometimes I was like, add me up to this tax. Let's see. Let me follow and join this guy. I was like, the bill he gave me, I was like, it's too expensive. But knowing that I don't want to pay back, nothing hurts me paying back money to government. I rather don't pay, don't feed me. So I followed that guy, and I discovered that there are some things that this guy man over. I have never gotten money from Canada before, but last year I did got money from the government, and I hope this year I will get some money back. So what I'm trying to say is that no job is less, but I would want my kids, like I always tell my children, I want you to be a nurse. I want you to be a doctor. My daughter said, Mommy, I will be, but I still want to, I like painting. Like, I want to be an artist. She keeps singing and singing it.
So if your daughter wants to be an artist, why are you pushing her to do medicine?
No, I'm just telling her, I told her you can have an artist as a second job. Like, you can have it as a side job. Me, your mom, I'm a nurse and I have another job I do beside. I sell woman hair. So that's another, like a side job. So I want her to be like her mom. Because I know artists in my house, how many artwork do I have in my house? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's what I have in my house. How many people buy artwork? They're pretty expensive, I know, but it's not something that's
Now, let me advise you. I'm sorry, but I've agreed with everything you've said up until this point because you are acting like our parents did in Nigeria. They think education is a protective layer from poverty, which is wrong. Education is not going to protect you from poverty. Now, if you have no flair for medicine, it's like a musician that cannot sing. You will struggle. The hours are long. You have to you have to work with blood. You have to work in depressing situations sometimes. So if you're not cut out to be a doctor, let me just warn you down. If your child wants to be an artist, they are not going to go anywhere near the medicine. You will just waste your time pushing them.
No, we have agreed on that. She has agreed.
How old is she?
She's just 8. She's turning 9.
How can an 8-year-old know what they want to do?
She knows. My child comes home like I don't know how to explain it.
Let me tell you something. At 8, you don't have a clue. Some people at 40, they don't know what they want to do in their life.
No, my daughter is just 8.
So at 8, trust me.
The brother have said the same thing. Mommy, I want to be that. I said, yeah, that sounds good. I just want my kid to go to school. That's it.
They can go to school, but they don't have to go to school to study medicine.
I want them to go to school that is free.
To be doctors.
That side job.
You want them to be doctors.
Let me ask you a question.
You want them to be doctors.
That is free. Wait, this organizer that this guy is talking about.
Forget organizer. You want your children to be doctors. Hold on. You want an 8-year-old to be a doctor.
She's working towards that right now that is free.
You can't work towards that at 8. It's not until you first of all, when you get to, I don't know how the system is abroad, by the time you get to junior high and senior high, that's when you know what subjects you are strong at.
That Chris, I don't know, kids this time around, they're too smart. My kids keep saying this. Do you know when she started telling me, Mommy, once she was in grade 1, grade 2, she kept coming home with different strategies. Like sometimes I ask, where did you learn this from?
Forget all those things. Baba, listen, my father is a doctor. Hold on. My father is a doctor. My younger sister is a doctor. When my younger sister went to medical school on scholarship, just so you understand how hot she was, she used to study 16 hours a day.
Okay.
If your children are not ready, I cannot study 4 hours a day and not run mad and give all of you. Come be 16 hours a day. So don't push your children into what they will quarrel with. Right now, they are kids. Being a doctor looks cute. They wear white, they wear stethoscope. It's not everybody that can read for 16 hours. Oh.
That is please. What you're saying is right. As her mom, I am here to direct her, Daddy Freeze.
But you are directing an 8-year-old to be a doctor.
This is what I wish. It's either her or the brother.
You are talking like our parents. I'm sorry. You are talking like our parents used to talk. Even me now, I don't put this on my children. You have to be a doctor. If you are not a doctor, your youngest brother has to be a doctor.
I just made a suggestion, Daddy Freeze, and the kids bought the idea.
Because they are kids. They are 8 years old. If I call my son now, tell him I want to be a doctor, he will say okay.
I made a suggestion. I want one of my child to be a doctor. It's not a crime. It's just like making a suggestion.
It's a big crime, because
if they like, they will take it. If they don't like, they will tell you, Mommy, they don't want. I remember when I was growing up, my younger brother, my mom said she wants him to be a reverend father. Today, is he a reverend father? He's not. He's not. But this was my mom's wish. I want one of my child. and she now picked my.
Now, let me tell you. Let me warn you about this. Let me warn you about this. Hold on. It's not about how you want to raise your family. You are not in Nigeria. When you leave Nigeria, leave Nigeria mentality behind. Let me tell you, yeah. One of my kids almost had issues because of this kind of behavior, and I'll tell you why. It was one of my daughters. Her grandfather said he wanted her to be a doctor. Okay. The grandmother too said she wanted her to be. They used to call her, oh, our doctor. One of my most brilliant kids, to be honest. Now the child never wanted to be a doctor, but because daddy and mommy said, grandma said, we all now followed grandma and said, okay, yes, it's good. You should be a doctor. So we all followed suit until the child almost had a nervous breakdown for us one day and told us that she never wanted to be a doctor, that it was the ideas people were putting in their heads. So you see, you've got to be careful. Don't put ideas in children's heads.
Two different cases that
no, I can. You see the way. Listen, you are passive aggressive. Hold on, let me explain this to you. You are passive aggressive. You are like, I want one. Listen, hold on. As a psychologist, as someone who did psychology in my major, you are what we describe as passive aggressive. I want one of my two kids to be a doctor. That's what I want. You cannot want for somebody else. It's like you want your child to like the color green. Your child is going to like whatever color they like. Now, what you are doing is you are putting them under pressure to live up to what you want. And when they don't, they will feel like failures. I went through that myself. Let me tell you something. I'm one of the least educated members of my family. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you very well.
I'm one of the least educated members of my family. Let me break it down to you. My father is a doctor. My mother is a professor of law, a vice chancellor of a university. My immediate younger sister has her PhD in economics. My sister, after that, is a doctor that went to medical school on scholarship. My mother's last born is a intellectual property lawyer in the UK. My father has a second wife. His second wife's firstborn has a degree in psychology and a degree in economics, and he's currently doing his PhD in the UK. So when I tell you that I'm the least educated among all these people I mentioned, I'm the only one that does not have masters. Everybody else has masters except my dad, who studied medicine. But you cannot compare me that studied sociology and somebody that studied medicine. Now, let me break this down to you. Because I wasn't going to be a lawyer or a doctor, I didn't live up to my parents, what my parents wanted from me. And it was a serious battle for several years that left me emotionally scarred. And to be honest, I'm one of the people doing best in my family among everybody. First of all, I have job satisfaction. I have financial satisfaction. You understand? So it's not like because I didn't go to school or to the level of school. Yes, I went to a university. My mother was not going to let me. I told you network is bad. Your block it.
It's not me that
is you. Is you. I'm breaking because your children are making noise in the background and it's cutting the mic. Yes.
For real?
Yes. If I remove you now, you see.
Sorry that it freeze, please.
Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Am I still breaking? I told you. You see, from the time I heard her audio, I knew it was going to be a problem. Normally, when I bring you onto the live and I hear background noise, I remove you immediately. Because that background noise, I'm going to bring you back, Sugar Destiny. What you guys don't realize is each little noise is going to cut my mic. But because it doesn't work, in real time, the noise might have happened 2 seconds ago and then it's cutting my mic now. So once you now, let me pass my message across. All of you saying it's good to guide is very bad to guide a child away from their path. You don't live in Nigeria. Let me explain something to you guys. Yeah, my father grew up in a time when, if you were not a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer, or a pharmacist, you are going to be poor. It was as simple as that. It's either you are an engineer, a lawyer, or a pharmacist. If you don't do any of those things. So my father built his mentality around that, and it's not clear still. I'm still breaking. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to log out and log back in. I'm going to log out and log back in. Let's see if that's going to help.
School, probably for a year.
Let's see if that's going to help. Is it clear now? It's very clear.
Probably for a year. Let's see if that's going to help.
Is it clear now? It's very okay, it's okay now. All right. So let me continue. You see, what a lot of people don't understand is, I'm taking you back to my father's time, yeah? During my father's time, you were either a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a pharmacist, or something along those lines. If you were not, I remember when I went to Polytechnic Ibadan, I was at home awaiting JAMB and awaiting result, and the result was not coming through, and I decided to go and do a course in Polytechnic Ibadan, and it was lab science geology option. Do you know that my father said he was not going to pay school fees for somebody that is going to do lab science? Accountants, God bless you. My father said that he was not going to pay school fees for somebody else. Meanwhile, of course, I would not have been able to cope with lab science. I thank God I didn't end up doing it. But do you know how much lab scientists that study geology, how much they make in oil companies? You see, what our parents do is they have a very tiny horizon. They don't, the limit of your exposure is directly proportional. Sorry, I wrote that down one day. I said it, I was inspired to say it, and then let me quote it for you properly. Oh shit. The scope of your understanding is directly proportional to the limits of your exposure. The scope of your understanding is directly proportional to the limits of your exposure. What does that mean? What you have not been exposed to, you cannot understand. So, because you have seen medicine and nursing, you believe that is how far the world would go. Let me tell you something. In 10 years, there are career paths that do not exist today that will exist in 10 years that are mind-blowing. or are going to be mind-blowing. I'll give you an example. When Linda Ikeji was in Unilag, there was no such thing as blogging. The money Linda Ikeji made from blogging, I can guarantee you for free, surgeons did not make it in America. I'm not talking about doctors. I am talking about specialist surgeons. When Linda Ikeji bought her house, she bought her house $2 million cash down. Cash, like this $2.5 million. Cash. Forget all of you living in $2 million houses in America. You are paying for 30 years, 20 years, some 10 years. Linda Ikeji paid one bank transfer, $2 million equivalent. Linda Ikeji bought a Bentley. You can go to YouTube. I had an interview with her inside that same Bentley. Linda Ikeji bought a brand new range. She has the latest range. So what I'm trying to tell you is, within 10 years, a job, what is it called? Opportunity was created, a job opportunity that did not exist prior to 10 years before that. So when you have an 8-year-old daughter and you are trying to help her decide her future, her future is going to start when she's 20. Here's what I tell people: if you want to draw, start drawing now. The competition is keen. I'd rather have you to be a top line artist than a mediocre doctor. Money does not determine everything. And there are going to be things that are coming out. Let me tell you, during COVID, the opportunities for genetic engineering, for cell biologists, and all those things came to a maximum. You think nurses were making money? Ask the people who were doing vaccine research how much they were making. Some people even got patents that ran into billions of dollars. Right now, it is artificial intelligence. You don't even know where you are going in the next 5 years. Let me give you an example. When I was on the radio, I always believed that I was going to retire on the radio. I always believed it. I always believed that, man, radio is going to be good. I love the radio, blah, 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 blah. After a while, I started realizing how stagnant radio had become. What I'm doing now is what I was doing on the radio. My last 2 years on the radio, I was doing talk radio. Talk radio means I was not playing any music. I was just talking 2 straight hours, 10 o'clock to midnight. Every single day, I will talk. Okay? Somebody says, remember, but bills won't hear dreams and aspirations. I'm going to come to that. Let me pin that so I won't forget. Okay? Now, I always believe that, you know what? I'm going to do radio forever. But then, I now started doing talk radio. And I realized that I was having issues with talk radio because you say something, let me tell you, you cannot discuss gay on radio. Something as simple as gay. I used to get away with it because it was Daddy Freeze that I could talk about. But then sometimes in meetings, they'll tell you that, look, Daddy Freeze, you cannot talk about this topic. I'll get away with it, or I got away with it, but it started getting to a point where I'm like, yes, even on online radio, there are things you absolutely cannot say. But it's if I can say 70 things online, I can only say 25 on the radio. I cannot tell a woman to divorce her husband on the radio because they'll say I'm encouraging divorce. Do you understand? Now, the pay, what I'm making from my platforms, what I was making on the radio is like 2% of what I'm making from my platforms. So, but my platform did not exist 10 years ago. This is me, old Baba at 46. I've seen that life can take a turn. The only thing you can do is be prepared and be ready. Because once it takes that turn, those that are not ready are going to be left behind. So when you sit down and you try to limit your children, and I went through it. My parents tried to limit me all my life. Not that they were bad, but that's what they understood. They thought life was going to be governed by doctors and lawyers and accountants and engineers. My father always wanted me to be a doctor. I had zero interest in being a doctor. Even my younger brother, who is near genius, had zero interest. He's doing his PhD in international relations. He had zero interest in being a doctor. He even had someone that had two. My younger brother did 2 courses at the same time in 2 different universities and finished with 2-1 each at the same time. He did run course for Ife and he did run course for Ibadan. He got the admissions the same year, and he will go and attend lectures in Ibadan, and then go to Ife to attend lectures, then go to Ibadan to attend lectures, then go to Ife. He did it like that for 5 years till he finished both courses with 2-1. I'm not talking say he go one university, finish with. He go 2 universities at the same, not one after the other, at the same time, and finish the 2 of them with 2-1. Meanwhile, he was still running his business. He was still doing some entertainment stuff. He got a job in Kano. While he was working in Kano, he was running his masters. The next thing now, a PhD. Even my brother, on his level, on how good he was with education, he still did not want to do medicine. Come be me, way no physics, don't read for more than 1 hour, I'll be bored. I had attention deficit disorder from when I was a kid. I cannot put more than 15 minutes. I had the quickest brain, the highest IQ in my family, if I remember correctly, but I had attention deficit disorder. I could not apply myself for more than 30 minutes. So any book where say I read for my life, just say I read in 30 minutes. My WAEC, I read 30 minutes a night. I could not go beyond 30. Beyond 30 minutes, I'll not be able. So my brain in that 30 minutes will focus, boom, and I'll deliver it. But I can't do more than 30 minutes. So I had that problem. Now me won't go read medicine. No matter how hot my brain is, if I don't put in the time, ADHD, thank you very much. If I don't put in the time, I'll not be able to get that degree. My brother could even put in the time. He had no interest, zero interest in becoming a doctor. My younger sister, my immediate younger sister that has her PhD in economics, they wanted her to be a doctor. They filled JAM form. This was 30 years ago, or how many years ago? In the middle of the night, my younger sister woke up and used Tipex to change everything they filled. You understand? And rewrote it. Removed medicine and put what she wanted. Only for me to go and submit, because now me go submit the form the next day. I don't even check them, I just go submit the JAM form. When I came home, I just noticed that she was asking me, are you sure you submitted? I said, yes. Now, why would I not submit it? Middle of night, when everybody was sleeping, after she sat down with my dad and filled medicine first choice, medicine second choice, my sister sat down and changed it to law, from medicine to law, by herself. So you have an 8-year-old and you think you can guide them. I'm sorry, what you are doing is more harm than good. As a parent, you are not allowed to wish for your child, wish for yourself. You want to go to medical school, go and buy JAM form and go and study and go to med. Don't wish for your children. Allow your children to evolve into what they are going to be good at. Someone says she no chop cane. By the time they realized, it was so late. It was so late. So I saw it play out in my family. I saw it play out. I had another cousin. That one wanted to be a doctor. He do JAM 10 years. By the time he did his 10th JAM, he went to read something else. So there are some people that actually have the interest and have the desire. But then do you know how competitive it is to get to? You think medical school is somewhere where you just go and buy the form and you show up there the next day? So we are talking about, first of all, here are some factors. The first factor is, are you interested in it? Do you have the passion for it? The second factor is, you might have the passion, but do you have the ability? Passion does not generate ability. People get it wrong. They mix ability and passion. There are people who have the ability but don't have the passion. Those that have the ability would get in, finish, pass the exam because they have the ability. They will pass the exam, they will do all the things. Sometimes they will even excel, but they have no passion for it. So when they do it for 3 or 4 years, then they now say they want to go and paint. Passion, on the other hand, is you really want it, but you just don't have the ability. It's like somebody that wants to do accounting but does not like math. Or somebody that loves aeroplane but does not understand geography. So no, you have to have the passion, you have to have the ability, and you have to have the opportunity. 3 things I'm going to explain to you. These are what guide your career. Write it down. This is not a discussion, this is a teaching, especially for those of you who have kids. I'm 46 years old. My first son is 21. My first daughter is 20. What I'm giving you is orijo of life. 3 very important things when it comes to guiding your children: passion, ability, and opportunity. You have the passion, you have the ability to be a pilot, but the cost is $100,000. You don't have it. You have destroyed opportunity. Some have opportunity, no passion, no ability. Some have opportunity, passion, and ability. Some have passion and ability, no opportunity. Some have opportunity, ability, no passion. 3 most important things. Write this down. If you are a parent, write it down. Scratch it on a wall. Put it in your notepad. When it comes to your children, allow them to be. Look at Copy, DJ Copy, for instance. DJ Copy has the opportunity to be if she wants to be a surgeon in the highest university in this world, her father can afford it, but she doesn't have the passion for it. So you've got to understand these things. And what I want for my children, you cannot want for your children, want for yourselves. Be very careful with this. So, and somebody said, that's why I pinned this comment. Okay, but remember that there'll be bills. The bills won't hear dreams and aspirations. Let me tell you something. We set very high standards for ourselves. It's no problem. It's you, it's your standard. Don't set high standards for other people. Even the Bible says, as long as you can eat and wear cloth, you should be content. Stop motivating people into places of sorrow because they are putting bills first. As long as you can rent a house that is decent, eat and have shelter over your head and have clothes. You don't have to wear LV, you don't have to live in a mansion, you don't have to drive a Ferrari. Let's stop setting those high. Those are poverty-based standards. I'm not telling you this. I love Ferrari. As you are seeing me like this, I'm saving for my Ferrari. I don't save half the money. Make I want on any day when I see Ferrari. I don't save the money reach half. I don't the price. I don't they talk to them. We don't they email back and forth. But that's me. Not everybody likes Ferrari. And not everybody needs to own a Ferrari. Let me tell you, my wife likes mansion. My wife can live in a mansion with a pool and drive Toyota Corolla brand new that has AC. That's what me, as long as my house, for me, house is too big. I like flats. The only thing that makes me like house is because I love pigeons. So I don't mind a tiny bungalow on a big plot of land where I can have chickens and dogs and to me that. But because I live in Lagos and I like living in Lagos, I don't know where I'm going to get that. So I'd rather just live in a gated estate and feel safer. To me, a big house is of no value. Let me tell you something. All those people that have 20 properties, 10 properties, to me, is I look at them like, what are you doing with all that? To me, it's worthless. It has no worth. Zero. I like the good things of life, but I would rather have a happy marriage than a Ferrari. If my Ferrari is going to cost me my marriage, let it rest. If my mansion is going to cost me my peace of mind, I don't want it. For me, I value peace of mind, happiness, a good marriage. If after that, Ferrari comes, mansion comes, is okay. Teach your children that. Now, some people, there's something motivational speakers tell us all. They say, what do they call it? Your comfort zone is a bad place. No, your comfort zone is a good place. Let's stop pushing people to jump higher than. It's not everybody that's going to be a millionaire. It's not everybody that's cut out to be a millionaire. It's not everybody that can even handle. I remember this working with a Lebanese guy in Cool FM then. Young Lebanese guy, used to work on computers. And one day I asked him, I said, he said when he was living there, he wanted to go and work with his father in his father's shop in Lebanon. He just came to Nigeria to gather some money and go back home. I said, why do you want to work for your father's small shop? Don't you want to own? So I now pointed to the empire my boss owned in Victoria Island back then. I said, don't you want to own all this? He said, no, that doesn't. That what does he want to do with all this? That he just wants to have this small shop with his wife and his children, blah, 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 blah. I looked at him like, how can you dream so small? And then I thought about it is, why am I considering it a small dream? Because he doesn't own this and own that. That's his dream. That's going to make him happy. Of course, I'll always advise you to be very careful so you create an opportunity for yourself to fall back on something in the future so you don't end up being hungry. That's being that you need to be careful with that. But trust me, the reason why many of you are worried about bills is because you come from poverty. And some of the bills you people are worried about are inherited bills. Your parents came from poverty, or your parents mismanaged resources and ended in poverty, and then you have to now take care of them. That's why you have this many bills. So to be entirely honest with you, if your child wants to be an artist, let them be. If they want to be a truck driver, let them be a truck driver. If they want to be a nurse, let them be. If they want to be an astronaut, now there are some jobs that are risky. So you have to guide them and make them understand the risks. Like for instance, if your son wants to be a herpetologist and work with snakes, they have to understand the risks. But telling an 8-year-old that you want either her or her brother to be a doctor, in my humble opinion, is toxic. You have no choice in what your children are going to be. I'm telling you that for free. My father had where I am today, if they ask my father, where do you think your son will end up? He had no clue. And when he tried to, he frustrated my life. And I'm going to tell you the story. The other time my mic was breaking, one of my kids, one of my most brilliant kids, that's how we almost pushed her into medicine. It wasn't my fault. You know me, I know to get stressed when it comes to education. Anything where you want to be, go be armed. Because she was so brilliant, her grandmother and grandfather wanted her to be a doctor. And she couldn't say no. You know, some of those children, they are quiet, they don't know how to argue. And so she talks, say, okay. So What do you want to be? She said, doctor. Meanwhile, now grandpa and grandma push her and go that direction. So when we ask her, say she wanted to be a doctor, no problem. We encourage you to be a doctor. We did not know that this child was frustrated and boiling inside. She was telling her siblings that she didn't want to be a doctor. But me, I was running around trying to get her into medical school. Until one day, with tears in her eyes, she sat down and said, you know what, Daddy, I don't ever want to be a doctor. By then, she almost missed getting admission into the university because we had to change everything last minute. So as parents, allow your children. Only my younger sister is a doctor. My mother would have wanted all of us to be doctors. One day, my mother looked at my long fingers and said, you have long fingers, you make such a great surgeon. We're driving past an amusement park, Trans Amusement Park, Ibadan. I said, Mommy, if I'm a doctor, this whole place, they'll use and do burial ground. Me, we are no fit, me, I know they remember, where they work, they find car key for 1 hour. My car jack, now I go forget inside patient. Say, you want me, surgeon, I go cut person open. I go cut her open, I go forget why I cut her open. Now 3 hours, I could ask myself, say, come, why we cut this person open, sir? Me, where they disorganized. As in, I the way I follow my mama talk, my mama vex, she know if he talk. I just enter her. I say, as in, are you not even afraid? Do you want to use the rest of your life to be hiring lawyer for me, to be defending me? I said, no talk this medicine thing near me. Oh. Then I remember one of my cousins then, Sunday, Philemon. Philemon wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to be a doctor so badly. Last minute, entered medical school. He now eventually got into pharmacy, hoping to get into medicine. After a while, Philemon, they do business now. Now, entrepreneur in B now. He just leave the medicine and the pharmacy, face business. And I remember that time when my mother was telling me that, me at young, I know say I know if he be doctor, no be see anything. I know, first of all, I know if he read the book, so I didn't have the ability. Secondly, I did not like it. As a kid, I used to read my dad's medical books, so I know a lot about the medical field. I can have a discussion with a doctor, and I will not get lost. But that passion to study it and that ability to actually turn it into a career, I didn't have it. Now, it's not like my parents had the money to even send me abroad. Now still UIR for go. So Baba, make we just leave them. So I used to tell my mom when I was in secondary school, I used to tell my mom that I don't have any interest in medicine. Then Philemon go, they fight me that time. Say, why go talk? Say you have to do medicine. And after a while, I said, okay, I wanted to do medicine just to make them happy. But my second choice, he said, you should not have any second choice. My mother and Philemon said, you should not have any second choice. Blah, blah. You should be ready as a doctor. This, that. I don't talk enough. Make I bring somebody else. So that's the thing. Oh, it's good you came to my life, Destiny. Do not want anything for your children. Allow them to want. It's their life. You have lived yours. Allow them to want whatever it is they want and pray to God that you can see them through it. If they want to make hair, let them make hair. You are lucky you are living in America. Nigeria, now if you worry, say if you do this kind of work, hunger will beat you. No work will get hunger for America. Look at Fowles. Fowles studied law and then came back to music. So God bless you, Sugar Destiny. You are my very lovely sister. You have beautiful children. And I believe that if you allow them, they will excel. So let me bring a couple of people for 5 minutes and then we come back to continue this conversation. I can see this conversation is very... Mama Tuzi. Oh yeah, over to you. I don't too young this night. Why?
Because he requested, he wanted, when the guy that was talking about trucking was talking, that's his business.
Where is he? What's his handle? What is your husband's handle?
I don't even know. I don't know if he used his business handle or if he used his personal handle. It should be. I don't know. Actually, that's what he used. I don't know. But anyway.
Let me bring the two of you. Let me bring the two of you so you can talk about nursing and he can talk about trucking.
Yeah, I actually know. I mean, well, I think he went to. I'll call him to come join in because that business is something that is joint business. I actually do the operation part of it. I do the books of that, did the registration of it and everything. So I have an idea of whatever he's doing anyway. So, but I like the fact that you mentioned about parents forcing their kids to do one thing or the other. It's not something that is. It makes sense anymore to be forcing kids to do anything.
Even to be suggesting to them. Even to be suggesting to them. Let them develop their passions.
Because if kids have passion for something, I understand that at the end of the day, we want them to be able to pay their bills, which is very important. But at the same time, bills is not everything. So instead of discouraging them, for example, people in US now, you don't even have any reason to discourage them. You can always say, you know what, that your passion, you can do it as a second major or a minor. So they can still do what they love to do and then do something else to just in case.
Now let me tell you something. Sorry, let me cut you on that. Let me tell you something here. If you don't want your kids to be shrouded in bills, here's my advice for you. Fix yourself.
Yes.
If you are sorted, they don't have to take care of you in future.
Yes.
So they are not going to be overwhelmed with bills. The reason why Nigerians are overwhelmed with bills is because they have to take care of their father, mother, other children of their father's extended family. The best thing you can do for your kids, the best legacy you can give your kids is sort yourself out. That bills being at the bottom or at the fulcrum of every decision making. Remove it from their lives by not being a burden on them. If not them, their wife and children. Yes, bills are heavy, but they'll be able to cope much easier. In Nigerian man's whole life is shrouded in bills because our previous generation failed. We have to say it as it is. Our last generation failed. Whether it's the government that created the failure or, you see, I'm sorry to say this, but I hate giving it's like me telling you that my wife refused to kiss me because of government. You need to understand that. Let me just look at this fuel crisis. Ordinary petrol attendant don't use opportunity of fuel crisis to oppress. I was trying to get POS one day. They told me 12K to get 10K. Where are all these people coming from? So that woman that is selling me 12K POS at 10K, if she becomes president tomorrow, what is she going to do there? I remember when COVID mask, when everybody said wear mask, mask of 300 naira became 20,000. Remember that first? So everybody's as wicked as this government you are claiming. It's just that you have not had the opportunity to be wicked. The day the opportunity presents itself, you see how wicked you are. Mask importer turned devil. Fuel attendant turned Satan. POS operator turned Beelzebub. Because they had a slight opportunity. Then the next things will blame our government. It's such an easy escapism route. Sorry, my dear sister. Please, guys, I need you to send me stars. Come over to Facebook. When I sit down here since morning, they enjoy free gist and they teach you lesson. What I did today was actually supposed to be a master class. Go to Facebook now. This is how it works. Go to Facebook. This is my Facebook. Daddy Freeze. DADDYFREEZE. Click on today's video. Scroll to the bottom of the video. You will see how to get stars. Go there now. If you are watching on TikTok, send me gifts. Send me gift cards on TikTok. If you're watching on Facebook, buy stars. If you're watching on Instagram, go to Facebook and buy stars. Somebody said I tried, but do you know I could charge for that masterclass and charge everybody $50 and I will clean out. But meanwhile, you got it for free. I'm telling you my experience as a child, among other siblings, and my experience as a father who has a 20-year-old son, 21-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter. So just know that we know these things. So you like free things, go to, somebody said, I'm using my data to watch you. Are you paying me the data money? No be data, no be between you and data company. Please, 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 please go to Facebook now and go and buy stars. I will be hailing you. So far, these are the people that have bought me stars. Shina Akinwande, Jackie Cox, London January, and Babajide Phillips. I'm looking for the first person to buy 1,000 stars. Make I even hail Luna this night. I don't try too much. All right, over to you, Mama Tuzi. But before I hand over to you, let me read this. I had a colleague in the office. She's always regretting studying law based on parental advice. Her passion had always been music. Say the see waiting at the talk. Over to you, Mama Tuzi. You're my final caller.
My husband, before you brought me home, I was telling my husband, like, that's why I'm very grateful to my dad. He never imposed any. He was an accountant. He was a chartered accountant, but he never imposed anything. And I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always, in fact, since I was like 5 or so, I've been saying I want to do medicine. I want to be a doctor. But when I got here, my first degree was in pre-med, biology, chemistry. I double major with chemistry. And after that, going to med school, I told my dad, I said, I don't want to do medicine anymore. And he said, why? I said, I really don't. I want to stay in healthcare. I have passion for healthcare. I want to stay there, but I don't want to go to med school because I think it's very restrictive. If I do say med school and I say I want to be a surgeon, what if I decide tomorrow that I don't want to be a surgeon anymore? I want to be a cardiologist. I have to do residency again. I want to do nursing this time. It's more flexible and everything. And he said, okay. If that's what you say and you are sure nobody is forcing you to do something different. I said, I understand, sir. And he said, and it's not like I'm the one paying, it's the one who paying. But he said, okay, if that's your wish. And even doing nursing, and this nursing now, God doesn't make me stay. This nursing actually made me realize I don't want to be a bedside person. I want to be a policy person. Change policy, influence policy, be able to touch many more lives than just one at a time. So, we need to give kids opportunity to explore things they actually want to do. That's why my daughter likes to go with her dad to her dad's shop because she will work with the mechanic there. I bought her tool belt. I bought her tools so she can help them losing both. My brother is even like, please don't discourage her. I said, no, I don't. She likes to draw. I bought her paintbrush and everything. I'm always like, I think all the creativity that I don't have, you got it. So I'm going to encourage, I will live my creativity through you, So I agree with you. We shouldn't, at this age, we shouldn't be pushing certain narrative for the kids or suggesting this is what is good and that and all that. Like you said, in 10, 15 years, a lot of these jobs won't even exist anymore. Something else will be doing it. It's technology age, so we need to do that. And then going back to work part of it. Okay, so I know there was a lady that was talking about nursing, the brother that was talking about nursing being, there's a limit to it. Nurse practitioner, I think we've talked about this before because I know you said we'll still come back to nursing issue one day. Nurse practitioners average in US seriously is $119,000 average salary. And it even depends on the state. But let's say you're a CRNA now. CRNA, if you're a nurse that you want to be a CRNA are the anesthesiologist, but the nursing part of it. They are the ones that make like upwards of 200,000 and all of that, depending on the state and the location. So when people are talking about this thing, they don't factor in the experience, the location, and all this other stuff. They don't factor it in. They just make it sound like the moment you go into this profession, you start making this big buck. It's not like that. Then even the trucking, this is something I can say something about. This is something that is a business that was started that we did. This is something that I've had to go to the United States Department of Transportation to do defend audits. So I know what I'm talking about. I do our taxes. If you own your own trucking business, in our own case, that's what happened. It's different from you are working for somebody. Average pay in the US for truck drivers doing over the road long distance is $45,000. It's $70,000. okay because but sometimes what truck owners do is like us, we can have a driver and you can say, you know what, I have this car hauler that pulls 7 cars that, okay, what will happen is after we take out the cost of diesel, take out the cost of tires, we're going to now split the profit. You would take 30%, I would take 70%, even at that. So you need to consider all of those things. So how many people coming from Nigeria today have money to go buy a $50,000 truck, 18-wheeler? Or even, let's even say they want to do 3-car hauler, for example, or they want to buy a small flatbed to attach to a dually. A dually is that freeze know what dually is. Dually is like trucks, those pickup trucks, but they have 2 tires, 2 big tires in the back. Those are dualies. So how many Nigerians actually have money? Even dualies are expensive. If you want to buy a Laramie, maybe a Dodge 450 or something now, it's probably about $50,000. So how many people have that? And that's why I say, for Japa purpose, most people that want to Japa, a lot of them don't have the disposable income or money to say, I want to go back to school today, and everybody will go to school. Come with skills. Learn something. You need to learn some skills, whether it's to barb hair or to braid hair or plumbing. I wrote in the comment earlier, I said, our truck with our 18-wheeler then, to fix the truck, Daddy Freeze, listen, to fix the truck, the guy charges $100. The cheapest shop was charging $100. The other guy was charging $120 per hour. That's labor cost too. You are still going to buy your parts and everything. And if the labor is going to take them 6 hours to fix it, then it's going to be 6 hours to fix it. So and then that is times 100. That's $600 working on just your own truck, besides other people's truck.
Hold on. Destiny. I had a problem with your audio before. Your audio is bad. You have to go to a room where it's quiet because your audio is cutting everybody else. Destiny.
She needs to mute.
Destiny, you have to be in a quiet place. All those little feedbacks are coming in and they are cutting your audio. Okay, so finish what you are saying. Sorry, Mama Tuzi.
Yeah, so to fix, that's on per hour. Julie, that's $100 per hour. Not $100 to fix. $100 per hour. For trucks, for 18-wheelers, that's what I'm saying. 18-wheeler trailer, $100 per hour. So say I want to fix something that will take 4 hours. That's $400 that they're charging me, and that is besides the cost of my parts. So I hope you get what I'm saying now. So now that is even different from mechanics now. So I know Nigeria, we look down on all of this and all that. The good thing about the US, I'm speaking of US, I've never lived in Canada, I've never lived in the United Kingdom, so I can't speak to that area. The beauty of US is if you get to US today and you want to be a business owner, you can. You can register and be a business owner. That's why they call it like you can be anything you want to be in the United States. If you come in, even Mexican that cross the border today can come to America and they have their own business. Maybe it's plumbing work or whatever work they are doing it. You can register your own sole proprietorship business that you can do all of this thing. And you hands-on thing I know that people want to say, well, I don't want to do that, I'm a graduate, and if you have money to go to school, please, I will encourage you to do that, because that is very important. Because I'm not someone that will say don't go to school. Me myself, I never stop going to school. I always find something I'm going to school for. So I always find something to go to school for. But if you don't have the resources for somebody Japaing, again, Japaing and some person that we are talking about, Japa, those people don't have the extra money to be saying, I'm going to school today, tomorrow. No. Especially if you're not even coming with family, it's even harder. Your kids, you have to think about them. Because how do you pay for daycare? I think I've mentioned here before about the cost of daycare. For my 2-year-old, I pay $340 per week for her. So that is a lot of money to pay for a 2-year-old. So, and when you're talking about even for nursing, and you say, well, you can be a travel nurse and be traveling and making this, did you put into calculation your kids, who is taking care of them while you are away? because people don't consider a lot of things come into play when you're talking about going to travel to make more money, going out of state, even for truck driving. And I agree with the lady I don't know if you were the one that mentioned earlier about team driving for trucking. Yes, if it's your own truck and you guys do team, the reason why team drivers make money is that for each driver you can only drive 8 hours, you can only be on the road for 8 hours. It's not like Nigeria that you'll be driving and nobody's pulling you. They are not pulling you over. If they stop you on the road, you can drive 11 hours, but you have to stop in between. If they stop you on the road and they look at your driving sheet, you have the driving sheet that you fill the timer with the time that you started, the time you took for meal break, and then you went back on the road. So you are documenting all those things. Say they pull you over, a state trooper pull you over, and look at your record. That is it. They shut you down right there. So you are playing with your CDL license and all of those things. But when you have a team, instead of, if you're going to California now, that will take maybe 2 days, you can actually meet up with that because it's 2 people. So while one is driving, one can say that is my break time and I'm just starting when this one stops. So that's why it's easier. If it's their own truck, they will make it. So people need to put a lot of all these things. But like for me, my advice is if you're coming and you don't have the resources when it comes to money, please learn some skills. It pays. My friend actually went to school here. Even though she had assistance from her uncle from Nigeria that was helping her with her fees. But when it comes to her bills, all the small hair that she can do, that's what she was using to pay her bills throughout school. That's what she was doing. So imagine if she didn't learn that. So these things are expensive. Just ordinary bread now. My 2-year-old, I pay $80 to get her. Only 6 when I count it is just 6. It's $80 to get it done. So so those things, like, it pays. But if you can go to school, if you have the money, school is still good. Just pick the right thing. IT is always there that you can do. But then it depends on the economy too. You have to think about that. But nursing, you always get a job. Always a job with us.
Okay, so we're rounding off now. 1 minute for your final thoughts. 1 minute for your final thoughts. Destiny, 1 minute. Mama Tuzi, 1 minute, and I'm timing. Oh yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to encourage you guys that don't look down on anything. Find your passion. Think about, okay, what do I even like? Okay, maybe I like to bake. Learn your baking, because guess what? If you are good at it, people are gonna buy. Americans love sweets, and they will buy. And thankfully, there's social media now. You can market yourself and just brand it. Call it whatever, if it's to make beads or do something, whatever. The internet is your friend. E-commerce has actually changed everything. So you can be wherever, even while you're in Nigeria, you're not Japan. Take advantage. Like Daddy Chris said, we shouldn't wait for government. There are people selling on social media, doing things. We can use the example of Taste Buds. Like, she's doing her own business. It's online business. Businesses are going on.
By the way, Taste Buds has her cooking class. Taste Buds cooking class is starting on Monday for 2 weeks. If you're interested to learn about African dishes, I'll pin the number. 0+234 909 644 8433. So, Destiny, your own 1 minute.
I did what?
Your own 1 minute.
Please, you guys have said it all. I only suggested daughter, and my husband wasn't happy about that. But I have my reasons why I said that. But I knew very well. It's not really right, but to me, I look at the future. I don't just look at present. Like you said, some jobs will face out tomorrow. Nothing will never face out tomorrow. Doctors.
You'd be amazed.
Because people say,
hold on. You'd be amazed how much artificial intelligence is going to take over from even what you call nursing. And you see, one thing I want to warn you about the future is you don't have a clue what the future looks like.
Nobody has a clue, but
good.
Everybody's working for future tomorrow.
You are not working for a future you don't know. So here's my advice: calm down, follow your passion.
Daddy Freeze, look, it's not like I'm I only mentioned, I said, girl, this is better than this. You can as well have both, like she said. This will be your second choice.
You telling somebody that their passion is their second choice is already imposing. Abi Mama Tuzi, are you getting me?
That phrase, I heard you.
Someone says AI cannot take nursing out. Hold on. Do you realize that they're already driverless cars? What do you mean it cannot take nursing out? You don't know where. If you know where the future is going, you'll be afraid.
People think every day that it fails.
No, I understand what that freeze is saying, but the thing is that actually, let me play if I may. There's actually IBM actually did a robot that will help with when it comes to diagnosis. So when they're talking about healthcare, they are using them more to help with diagnosis or to help with the things like something that take a lot of time for nurses, taking us away from our primary responsibility of actually caring for the patient. So all this, what will be out of service will be the medical assistants.
Even the nurses. You see, right now, let me tell you, truck drivers, you guys have about 15 years. After that is dead. Robots are going to drive your trucks. Robots are going to drive your trucks. That one is gone. Nursing and medicine, aviation, everything is going to go on autopilot. So, my darling sister, if you truly are looking at the future, instead of pushing your children to medicine and push them to artificial intelligence, if you really want a secure future, that's where the world is going. Artificial intelligence, that is where the world is going.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you guys for coming. God bless. Love you all. See you guys soon. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you so much for being such a cool person. Video man, no thanks to you. You had no light. Thank you, Mama Tuzi. Next time, we're still going to come back with this topic because we need to exhaust more career opportunities. It's not just nursing, trucking. We need other people to also share their opportunities, especially for Nigerians who want to Japa. Take care. God bless. I love you all.
Thank you, sir.